Hello, hello. Welcome to our movie class. Today we will speak about movie The Mona Lisa Smile. Maybe without the, I don't know. Maybe Mona Lisa Smile. I forgot. So um, let's describe the movie. Let's describe the plot, if there any. Uh, it-
If there is any, oh my goodness, yeah. So then you have the honor to retell the story.
well, no, I don't know. Should we retell it all because it's 2 hours long and mostly it's about dialogues, right, between girls or women or humans. How to say it politically correctly? Can we say that dialogue between girls?
Yeah, women like to be called girls.
Okay,
Gals.
between girls, right? About some university, dormitory, and all these things. Well, I can start if you want because I vividly remember the beginning.
Okay.
Before you fell asleep.
Then it wasn't. Then it's harder for me to make a logical line. So, but at the beginning, it's clear. So we have a university. Something posh, I think, or not posh. How we Ivory like? Can you say so?
Ivy League or
Uh, Posh universities, right?
Posh? Yeah, Posh is okay.
I can write
Well,
it, but
it's a famous one actually. It's Wellesley College. It's a really famous college in the US for girls.
okay.
Wealthy.
Well,
For
see, yes.
wealthy, yes, wealthy girls, yes.
And it seems to me that they like what they teach in the college. They making a good wives, right? So good wives need to know all these things, how to understand art, how to paint, how to cook, and all this things. My suggestion, I don't know. I have not seen that they cook in the movie, but it seems so. So and we have some teacher from somewhere else, from California, right?
Mhm.
I forgot her name, but the actress is Julia Roberts, right? And she came to this this college, and started to teach them students art. And something happened. Diana, what happened?
So, what happened? Yeah. Okay, the school year happened, the syllabus happened. Yeah, and it happened that girls, like the very first lecture, Catherine, the main character, realizes that girls actually know everything on the syllabus. So it was kind of embarrassing moment for her. She's like the new teacher. It was her dream to go there and teach those girls, because if you did not notice that this college is supposed to be the college for the leaders, for the leading roles. And this is 1953, and this is the US, like I would say one of the most like traditional countries on that regard, conservative countries, even if it may seem differently, but especially at that time, I think that America was pretty conservative. So those girls are from nice families with very wealthy families, right? And they are obviously really clever. So the first lecture, the teacher comes to the class, and the girls seemed so well behaved, right, and so polite and everything. So and she starts to show them slides, and what she realizes is that they know the whole program, everything that they're supposed to do throughout a year, the term or whatever. So they know, they answer all her questions, even before she asks them. So isn't that an embarrassing moment for any teacher, to realize that, what should I do next? How should I teach the girls? And actually, there were some kind of obnoxious girls over there who were very disrespectful to her. And they actually said, okay, if you don't have anything to teach us, we can leave and study for self-study, something like that. So that was her first experience. And as a new teacher, she is observed by some authority guy, some official, who was, just, it was a very disapproving attitude towards her. So they told her that she needs to, to be more to the point, to improve her next classes. So of course, it's like a very difficult moment for any teacher, for the new teacher. And she feels a little disappointed and everything. But she decides, as she's a rather progressive woman, she comes from California, like from different place to that very traditional setting. So next class, she prepared something absolutely unexpected for the girls. So something they could not find the answer and find the text in their textbooks. So she showed them the picture, which was completely out of their scope, so to say, out of the things that they knew or considered, even considered art. So she showed them the picture and asked them very, like open-end questions, right? Something to think about, something to think out of the box, so to say, right? She asked them whether it was real art and who actually decides what is art and what art is not, So these are the things that which we are very thought-provoking and made them think. And that was kind of what she was trying to do throughout her course, She was showing them, she was provoking them, she was showing them different things from different eras, from different times. And we're asking them, actually, to start thinking about for themselves, not just to read and learn what they are supposed to think. And that was very new to them because they were living in such an environment which actually, they were like trains. So, there are rails and they are kind of going, along. So they cannot turn right to the right, to the left. There are rails and you're supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm. 1 second. Let's stop there for a bit. So you just described it, a very interesting line. So it's about teacher, right? Who had to progress, right? Had to change her behavior to, I don't know, to adapt the class, to fit the class, right? It was very interesting. It was very promising episode in the movie, right? Yes, and there was a fantastic question: what is art? Who decided that this is the art, this is not art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I call it promising, because after that I was like, it took my attention. I wanted to get an answer for that.
There is no answer. That's the thing, You cannot find this answer. And well, it depends. It depends upon the viewer. It's very subjective. You cannot objectively answer this question.
Mm-hmm. So am I right that it was the last episode about art and teaching in general?
Why? No, it was not. It was not the last line. No. There were a lot of very interesting moments for me, at least. I found a lot of very interesting. So the one episode which I liked the most is when she took the class, like in the middle of the movie. She took the class to the, I don't know, was it a workshop or something like that? That's the moment where the Jackson Pollock's painting was opened. It actually gave me chills, really, because it was a very strong emotional moment for me, when she sees this painting for the first time, up close, because you can watch it, you can see it on the computer screen nowadays or in the books now. But at that time, Pollock was like very avant-garde, right? Very, very, so he actually died about that time. I mean, in the 50s, I guess, or in the 60s. I'm not sure. Yeah. But that was incredible moment. And the girls, they were all, just joking about it. They didn't think that it is true art, something like that. And then she just told them, okay, just shut up and look at it. think. Just, I don't want you to do anything, just to be silent and look at this painting. And when you are done with it, you don't need to write an essay or nothing. It's not going to be in your grade book. Just look at it and then you can leave. And actually nobody left, you know, they were watching. They started to see it, you know, to realize that art is just not one thing, not one side to it, you know, that it can be absolutely different. The technique can be absolutely different. It still will be, you know, just interesting, thought-provoking, and all those things. So it was interesting for me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see your point. So art can be different. The only problem for me, at least, that to recognize the art, I need someone who tell me that is the art, you know, because it's hard for me to distinguish my boy's painting and Picasso painting. I see on them and it's, you know, like different sides. But many people tell me about Picasso, but no one about these childish pictures, paintings. I think it would be nice experiment one day to put all this, you know, naive pictures of children to some gallery and tell people that it's the art of someone famous. I would bet that many people will accept it like a true art, you know.
Well, by the way, there is this style called primitivism, which is exactly, well, not exactly, but almost like those children's drawings or something like that. Yeah, and well, it's not my cup of tea, but some people like it, enjoy it, and pay lots of money for it. So, you know, it's you know, the tastes differ. What can we say?
Okay. Gerard, what is your favorite line? Or you can continue the plot if you can.
Yes, I can. So this college is very conservative, and the new teacher Watson, Catherine Watson, wants to instill new thoughts to the girls, because it looks like that those girls are only meant to be prepared to be married. That's the only important thing of their lives, you know, the goal of their lives, finding a good husband and being happy, and, you know, and accepting everything, even if the husband is cheating on them. So, but the teacher, the principal and the teachers are over Catherine, don't like her methods. They want her to be more conservative. On the other hand, she has some story with another teacher. The actor is Dominic West.
The Italian
guy is supposed to be Italian.
No. He teaches Italian.
He teaches Italian, yes. I'm wondering why. What's the use of learning Italian in America, in the US?
One second, Gerard. Let's ask Teacher Lee. Teacher Lee, what is special about the guy who went to Italy? Why it's so special? Was on in Italy or not?
I have to confess, I didn't see the movie. I didn't have time to watch it. Italian is not a popular language in America. In fact, I don't know any school that teaches Italian, so I don't know why in the world you'd be teaching Italian in America.
Because it is 90% Latin. I don't know.
Okay, but I can describe the line. You know, there was a teacher, and he tells everyone that he was in Italy, and then eventually it came out that he never was in Italy, and it's a big thing somehow.
Well, back in 1953, I was born in that year, by the way. Probably we didn't, you know, people were poor and didn't travel much. So at that time, going abroad was probably like, wow, he's been outside the country. He's seen other cultures. It's kind of amazing back then. Because back then, travel wasn't, you know, we didn't have big airlines, and you know, you couldn't travel much. So if somebody had been to Italy, it's like, wow, he's been on a ship going across the ocean. He's seen things that we've never seen before, you know. So back then, it was probably awe-inspiring to say you'd been to a foreign country.
Right. I can understand that. We had almost the same, right? Who travel much always has more authority.
More prestige, yeah.
And plus, Italy, has so many these cultural sites and things and art and all these things. Probably
Is Picasso Italian?
No, Spanish.
Spanish. Yes.
Sorry, Gerard, I didn't.
Diana, teach us. Tell us a few, Italian artists.
Well, they were talking about the Sistine Chapel, and Leonardo and all those, like the ancient or medieval art is just like the huge part of it is based in Italy. So probably that was one of the reasons. I don't know.
Michelangelo,
that's right.
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Gerard, sorry, I interrupted you on this line on Italian teacher.
So the teacher wanted to instill the girls to be more, to look for another goals besides being married with a husband, and encourage one of them to study law in Yale.
To apply. So I'm sorry to interrupt. So which was very interesting for me there. That's the line. The girl said that. The girl who wanted to apply to Yale. Well, she actually did not consider it. She just told that Yale keeps 5 slots for women. So it's very interesting how many men enter the university each year, right? So 5 slots for women, and one of those slots is unofficially for one of the Wellesley girls, the girls from this college. Because you see, just think about it, 5 slots for women.
Yeah, but maybe all the slots may be vacant for many years.
No, they're not vacant. No, absolutely not. They are taken, that's for sure. But it's only 5 for the whole huge university.
Okay.
You are a feminist of our group. Why don't you say, oh my gosh, how can it be?
First of all, it's done, right? Now we don't have them.
Well, I mean, no, just compare. With USSR, for example, yes, with other European countries, I think that there were more, like in comparison with America, probably, I'm not sure about the figures, but I think that more women could enter the universities in Europe at that time. I'm not sure. I don't.
Have you heard about special place for women or for men? I never.
Special place?
Well, yes, like university can take 30 men and 30 women. I never heard that. So it's not.
I don't know.
It's really irrelevant. Who pass exam? That's who.
Yeah, I think so. It was here like that, But actually, we had like the different kind of reality here. But okay. So it's not the part of the story. Yeah.
But why I told that those places may be vacant? I was on math faculty, math department, and we had like 3 girls, and without any restrictions. So it's like a natural thing. Maybe I don't think.
But this is just one faculty. So, and probably like the linguistic faculty was.
Yes, linguistic faculty was different situation. Yes, they have like 10 boys and the rest girls.
Right.
But not because someone, it's some Diablo made this, right? It's how people like that. So, and as I got it from the movie, my impression was that this girl, she doubted, she thought, should she go to the Yale or not? And it was not her priority, it seems to me.
Yeah, but she could not. Okay, this is how she was raised. Your goal in life is to, I just don't get why they enter that college. Why do they go there if the only thing they need is to get married and support their husband? Do you remember this episode when the teacher of well, poise. I don't remember how to say that. So one of the teachers who was teaching speech or something like that, you know, and she just throws in the situation. Yeah, like your husband wants to be promoted, but his boss is against it or something like that. So there was the, you know, life situation she was trying to give the girls like an example, and they need to solve it, you know, and that was ridiculous how they were interested in the situation and wanted to you know, just to solve it in the best possible way. So that's the top for the girls, you know, to support their husband, to solve his problems, you know. And
why it's his problem? It's problems of the family. Why it's his problems?
Well, I don't think it's a problem of the family, you know. Just,
why not? Why not? It's the common, you know. I forgot the word for the budget or something.
Budget, yes, that's the only. Okay, if he's the only source of a budget, is it common budget? Can you call it common? You know, well, it's just the different. Yeah, the roles, you know, are different.
Roles are different. Yes.
You're supposed to be the supporter.
Teacher Lee, one second only. You know, I always understand through the personal stories, right? And just yesterday, I had a party on my job, right, with my bosses. And I would not mind if my wife finishes that courses, right? So it would be maybe, you know, better for our family, for our budget, for our budget. If she know how to, I don't know how to speak with those bosses.
Please, your boss. Okay.
No, not please. Why please? But just, you know, just don't tell my boss that we have more money than we can spend, for instance.
That's that's not a very good thing for the family.
Yeah, just to be prepared. Why is the bad thing? Teacher Lee, sorry, please.
Back in those times, we were very gender role based. Women's place was in the home, and men's place was in the workplace, and the roles were very distinct and well defined. Back then, we had what we call finishing schools. Women would go to finishing schools to learn social skills, such as how to host a party, how to entertain guests, how to support her husband. The man was the breadwinner. He was the breadwinner. The woman stayed at home and supported his needs so he could maximize his breadwinning potential. So they were going to this school to learn basically to be, one, good wives, and two, good social party hostesses and good entertainers of guests.
Wow.
So that's the kind of mentality we had back then. So these finishing schools were solely to make women learn social skills to support the husband's promotional aspirations, if you will, such as inviting the boss over for dinner, you know, and having little social parties and get-togethers and so on. So that was the mentality back then. So for a girl to think about, well, I'm going to go out and get a man's job, that didn't happen back in those days.
I understand this point totally. So what schools and universities do? They teach us how to live in this society, in this time, you know, how to be useful, how to have success, and all these things. So speaking from current time, we can say that women can work and earn many money and so much money and so on, but it is not possible at that time, right? So at that time, supporting man, your husband, isn't a bad thing. It is not a bad thing in my opinion just now, but
it is not a bad thing. So the thing is that you cannot prepare yourself for everything life throws at you, you know. Just as we see in one of the examples over there in the movie was with one of the girls who was very, very clever, and her mom was one of the in this how do you call that, alumni committee or whatever it is, commission, something like that. alumni. Am I pronouncing it correctly, digitally?
Alumni, yeah.
Yeah. So actually, her mother influenced the director or the rector of the school, of the college somehow. Okay. Anyway, she was married. Her last year of college, she got married, and it was the usual thing over there. So usually, when they were in their last year, they got married, and she seemed to be very happy, but we realized later on that her husband is not at home at all. He's working and he is on business trips all the time. So later on, we realized that one of the girls actually sees that he had lover in the other city or something like that. So the family is not happy family, so to say it, to put it mildly, So she is that, well, divorce is not her option, or not it is an option, but not very easy one. So it's a really difficult choice for anyone in her position, especially when you have a family who does not support you at all. Once she came to spend the night at her mother's house, and her mother just sent her away. So now you are married and you need to get back home to your husband's home. Now it is your home, so you're not welcome here anymore. I mean, okay, she's at home. Her home is beautiful, and she has all those washing machines, all those things, all the appliances. But is she happy? What she can do with all those things? Can she support herself if her husband decides to get that divorce, and live with another woman, to have another family? Because it's not the time, I mean, in that time, in any other time, those things happen, and you cannot protect yourself against them. And, well, that's my point,
Okay.
You can be very, beautiful and clever, and you can support your husband until you die, but things happen.
Okay, things happen, but the absence of divorce, you said how she will support herself, right? Divorce is prohibited. That's all. So
no, it is not. It is not prohibited.
Okay, not prohibited, just rare, social unacceptable. So her husband will support her for years. Don't worry, please.
Oh, wonderful. How wonderful her life will be.
And let's count some numbers. I like logics, all those things. Okay, so how many marriages we have in this movie? One. How many marriages we can see in this movie? From this for these girls, we have one married girl, right?
Yeah. Well, the second one is also, this Joan girl is also married. They got married, yes, in the movie. Yes.
Okay, so two.
The second student, yes.
Okay.
And all of them are engaged. Actually, they are all engaged, almost.
And one marriage is unhappy, right?
Okay.
So that's why everything is broken in this society, right? So that's why we cannot, just be a good wives and so all these things, because we know that bad marriage can exist, but they exist now, bad marriages. So
sure, yes.
It's hard for me, when we trying to prove something, we need something more than one example.
Okay, yeah, it is just one example, but you just have one example from like 3 girls, five students, one room of the girls in this college. You cannot speak about all of them. Yes, so there are many marriages over there. She said that
Okay. Let's do a mental experiment. Let's imagine some dormitory of boys, and take some room of boys, and let's listen to their story about their relationship with women. What do you think? All of the stories will be happy or not?
Of course not. Cannot. All the stories cannot be happy. So that's the usual thing. Some of them will be happy. Some of them will be not happy. So it's not the point. My point is that there always should be some choice. So the problem for these girls is that they don't seem to have much choice over there. So that's either you are a good wife and married happily or not. It's not the thing. It's not the point. Or you are the stranger in the society, as this Catherine, the teacher, was. You know, everybody was asking, why you're not married? You're 30 already. Why you're not married? You know, so she's kind of out of the, how to say that? I forgot. I forgot the saying. Okay, but so either or, you know, either you are one of the you know, picture, or you are outsider, and you will always be an outsider.
But why it's happened? Because why? It's just like humankind is, right? We always have these norms. It still exists, you know. People expect something from you because you are, I don't know, white, male, this age. People expect something from you just because it's how we, I don't know. It's because it's our nature.
So yeah, I understand that. But you know, as for me now, I don't care what other people expect from me. And I can say, okay, it's your thing. You can expect whatever you want, but I will do this, and I have this choice, you know. So I'm not pushed to get married. I'm not pushed to feel this role, you know.
Yeah. But what happens if these girls stop to worry about that as you do? They just do this divorce, right, and make this divorce. Or how do or make? I don't know. Divorce.
Just divorce.
Just divorce. Okay. So they just got divorced and start their career as a journalist or something. So it's possible, but they.
It is, yes.
But they just you know, hesitate because of all the society.
Yeah, it's just all new, you know. When you are when it is at the beginning of something, you know, the new age, the new era, it is always hard to start, to be the first. That's the thing. You just need to be the first, and then it will become easier. And actually, they're showing us the examples of those first girls, which became those lawyers and those journalists and those firsts in the career paths. And, you know, so do you know actually that Hillary Clinton was the studied at the same college? She's the graduate of this college. So actually it became the college for women who became the leaders of the nation, so to say.
Looks like exactly like in the movie, you know. She's brilliant. She can, you know, be a hope for the whole country, but she's unhappy. Her husband is bad.
Well, it doesn't matter, you know. It doesn't matter if he's bad or he's good, you know. The thing is that she can make her own decisions now, and she is one of many now. But at that time, she would have been one of, you know, in a million, or one of 5 women in Yale, you know. Just it's
okay.
I don't know if I.
Yeah, and I understand your point. So I would say it was harder for women, for girls, to find their place in the society at that time, because the choice of this place was kind of restricted. Not kind of, but hugely, yes, hardly restricted. So yes, I can agree with that, and maybe it will be different in the future. You know, maybe men will be restricted. I don't know. So do we have any happy girls in the movie, Gerard? Have you noticed one?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, the one that was happy with her fiancé, but later she thought another girl deceived her and make her believe that his fiancé was with another girl. But then eventually at the end she fixed that with the guy. So at this moment, I think at the end she was very, very happy.
And you see, okay, I'm sorry, just to tell you this. So to become happy, she decided not to follow the usual, you know, way of things. She had to go to his school, to get into his dormitory, you know, and to tell him this. So to make this first step, you know, that's kind of beautiful, I think. So without that step, she wouldn't be happy at all. She wouldn't have been happy. She would stay, you know, alone, and she was not a popular girl, so she was unhappy about that, and she really loved that guy, you know. So she actually kind of, you know, became, I don't know how to explain that, become like, okay, took a man's role, you know, just made a move.
Right.
And, you know, she had, a great time of happiness. So
yeah,
at the end, she was happier, you know. because to be very, very happy, you need to know what being unhappy is, to
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yep. Nice point, right?
Yeah, it's
Please.
what Diana was touching on was back in those days, the woman never took the
Right.
initiative. She
Mhm.
never courted the man. She never asked the man for
Yeah.
his phone number. She never asked the man for a date. The man always took the initiative back then.
Mhm.
So for a woman to do it, it just was unheard of back then. So this girl had to do that to try to seize happiness. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is changing, right? Now it's not so
Yeah.
safe for men to take initiative. All this Me Too thing. So we'll take to another place soon.
Yeah, men nowadays prefer to be court.
But it's safer for the couple,
Just to know for sure. Okay. Yeah, very cautious men nowadays.
what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Strong women, cautious men.
Strong laws, strong. It can cost you career, some job.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we have some now code of conduct or something like that.
Mhm.
I signed a few codes of conduct with my job just to
Wow.
just for my colleagues that my female colleagues now protected from me. So
Okay. Good to know.
so now I can spread my jokes on the streets, not on the job,
Yeah.
not on the workplace. Colleagues, okay. So one happy girl, many. What's the word for that? Many unhappy girls. Okay. What else? What else in the story? Any other lines? Jürgen, would you like to present your one?
Nothing special at the moment.
Okay.
I was surprised actually that contraception was prohibited at those days. So in the story, at the very beginning of the movie, so we know that there was one girl who used some kind of contraception. I'm not sure what was that. And actually she received that from the nurse, from the college nurse. And the nurse was fired because of that, because it was against the law. And actually one of the girls who was the editor of their school journal, school newspaper, she wrote an article about that, telling that the nurse was distributing those things. So she got fired for that.
Yes, because she obviously encouraged promiscuity, right?
Yes. Yeah. She encouraged, yes. And that was against the law. Yeah,
but it doesn't change much, right? Just now. We have the same way idiots now in schools. So if some news, so it's the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it's a different thing in America. It should be, right? Because they have some of these lessons about sexuality and all those things. But in my place, if you have this lesson, it's me and wow, you encourage children to do bad things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're divided in opinion over that also.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand it. It's not a simple thing, right? But I would like, I think, if school would take this role from me.
Okay. Yeah.
But at the same time, how can I rely on the school? What if they do that bad and all those things?
Yeah.
So, not a simple question, right?
Yes, but it is better than the way it is now, when children get to know everything from their friends, from from the street,
from the internet,
or from the internet. Nowadays,
which
it is
worse.
Oh yes. So I don't know, and I think that probably if they started earlier, it wouldn't be that big thing for them. When they come to the age when they got really interested. So.
Yeah, but we had a talk. Can you remember about this B talks and all this? And you can see the screaming.
Yeah.
Me and that Russia did not fail over the Spain. Yeah. It's a big thing for us. We expected defeat. So, what else? This line. I can't remember because there are much talking, but I cannot take the whole logical line from this.
So what was the message of the movie, Diana? That women need to take responsibility for their own future?
Well, she actually said, I think Catherine, the main character, the teacher, she said that she's not against marriage or something like that. She's not against those girls being housewives or something like that. But if they really want this, if they really, so actually make the choice. I think for me, it was like choice. So women should have choice. If you want to be a housewife and stay with your kids, why not? Be housewife, but you should be happy. You should have a choice. If you're not happy with this, you shouldn't be imprisoned in your own home. You shouldn't be, so unhappy.
Complacent, okay.
Yeah.
And we have a question from a silent listener from Black Mata.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, if Catherine were not a teacher in the movie, would this change anything? What do you think?
I don't really get the question. So
I think So the what she's saying is, Catherine in this movie is a teacher. So a teacher, the students and teachers have a certain relationship. The teacher is the authority figure. Her job is to tell the students what to do, how to develop, how to behave. So if she weren't a teacher, but were just maybe a peer or a janitor or a cleaning or the nurse, would the movie have the same message? I think is what she's kind of saying. The relationship, is that important to the movie's message?
Well, I think it is important, just for, during the first period of life, teachers are people who are the most influential people for us, for young people, right? So you kind of don't listen to your parents that much when you are a student, right? But the right figure of a teacher can influence you a lot. He can actually change your life. So that's why I think it is very important that she is the outsider. She came from California. The girls thought that she did. We find out that she did have an affair with some movie star even, It was something extraordinary for the girls. They all love movies, right? So, she is a woman in her 30s, and she was never married and, all those things. She was, an interesting figure for them.
Yep, interesting. So, Black Mata, you can be a good role model for your students as well. I think. So, teachers are important. I think we will not argue with that, right? Teacherly, please.
I think in the old days, teachers were very important. Unfortunately, today, the students often know more about things than the teachers. The teachers today are limited in their knowledge. They're sheltered. There's no ambition. They're overburdened by administration. They're disrespected by the students, the parents, the faculty. I feel sorry for a teacher today. There's just no respect at all. In America, anyway.
Well, it's kind of, we have the same tendency. So teachers' role is less and less, and sometimes students more really on the internet or something else, on their peers' behavior than on teachers' behavior. But it's still you can meet a teachers who will change your life, right?
Yep.
It happens with me because I was a very retarded guy in terms of math before I met my my teacher who can find that, so it's changed everything. Yeah, so it's a nice thing. Okay, other questions? Other lines?
Well, actually, we can see that she managed to change the girls by the end of the movie. Do you remember this episode? The episode I'm talking about. One of her classes, she showed them painting and in the box. Do you know what I mean? So you can the painting of the famous one, Sunflowers by Van Gogh. Yeah, put in the box, and there is the outlines. Do you know what? This is rather popular here as well now. So there is the painting, there is just outlines, and there are numbers. So you can actually, and the numbers are assigned for the color, yeah. So for the paint. So actually, you can paint the same painting to become Van Gogh, you know, just something like that. So, and she told the girls, so you see now what we're doing now. And she told about Van Gogh a little bit, you know. It was very interesting that he died in poverty, but now his paintings are considered to be one of the best because he was true to himself. He did not conform to the realities of that time, you know. So she was explaining that. But now what are we doing now? We're just putting it in the box and put the numbers on the like each petal of this flower, you know, and just make them like the mass kind of culture, you know, something like that, mass culture. So, and she gave, you know, distributed those paintings in the box to the girls. And at the very end, when she was about to leave the school, the teacher was about to leave the school, they invited her to the class, and they had all those paintings, you know, colored. But the thing was that it was all different. Each one of them were absolutely different. It was a very touching moment, actually. You know, they all painted the same picture, the same outlines, with different styles, with different techniques, different colors. They each took like the personal perspective on this thing. So, and she was really moved because she realized that she has taught them something, you know. Just it was a nice episode. I like that a lot.
So it's what's make art an art, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So they did not just colored the picture, you know. They made them their own. So they made art, actually, the true one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Teacher Lee's questions, please. Yeah. Teacher Lee, you're muted.
My question's in the chat area. What does Mona Lisa smile have to do with this movie? No one's mentioned it yet.
Because all of these girls were Mona Lisas. You know, all this have smile, but it was a
fake
yeah, it was like a smile that you cannot understand. Is it a smile or is it a torture or something like this? So
what does she feel? Yeah, what does she think about Mona Lisa? That's the question that a lot of generations are asking. And plus, yeah, Gerard, please.
No, another thing.
Yeah, and plus that guy who taught Italian, they associated the teacher with Mona Lisa, you know. Just he told her about Mona Lisa and he called her Mona Lisa for some time, you know, because she's like the teacher of art, and Mona Lisa is like the most famous thing, you know, something like that. Several connections with that.
And in this movie we can see the dichotomy, the conservative and progressive, you know. How the things have changed, no? Because nowadays,
yeah,
conservative has changed a lot. Almost nowadays would be progressive at this time. What nowadays is conservative.
Yeah.
So it's all, even from the conservative point of view, some progressive, you know, some progression is necessary, because we are always changing and evolving. We cannot keep in the same place always, you know, in the same costumes and not evolving. We need to evolve.
Right. So, do we discover everything in the movie, Diana? You're our expert, you know.
I don't know. Just what did you discover? Did I show something new to you?
Well, it does.
Open your eyes.
Well, it did show me that you know, society was different, and we still have some, how to say it, unjustified places, maybe roles and so on. But I think slowly it will be changed from one side to another side, then back, then it's like finding a balance,
Mhm.
Teacher Lee, please.
So I'll ask an art-related question. In a movie, a technique often is what's called a counterfoil. My question is there a counterfoil in this movie? I don't know. I'm just asking the question as an analysis technique. A counterfoil is someone put in the movie to contrast against the protagonist to give them an opportunity to show their particular viewpoints or philosophies or whatever. Kind of like a trigger to bring out the best in the star. Was there something like that in this movie at all?
No.
Well, you can predict it. All the men are disgusting in the movie. They lie all the time.
Not absolutely. Absolutely not. I think that you are asking about like can it be like characters who are different? Yeah, you're talking about that. So
Right.
characters who are well, I think that this girl who is married, happily married, in the beginning of the movie, she is always this rude and know-it-all girl, so she is kind of disrespectful. So she is telling the teacher, Catherine. So okay, one of the episodes over there. So she comes back from her honeymoon and she misses the classes. So the main character, Catherine, tells her, okay, you've missed 6 of the classes and you missed the midterm exam or test, whatever it was. So and she said, I got married and then I went to my honeymoon and then I set the house, I was busy in the house, and said, okay, it's not acceptable for me. But our faculty, she says, always lets us do that when we're married. So when she said, Catherine told her, okay, then it would be better to marry a freshman, just in your first year. Then you won't be, you won't need to attend any classes at all. You can just graduate from the very beginning, So she's always, and the girl says, I'm educating you. I'm telling you how it is here. It's a very conservative place, and I'm telling you. So she is the one who is the editor of this newspaper. So she is kind of the voice of this conservative university, conservative school. So, and that's why, it's always this clash of titans. Right.
Okay, but there is some logic for this college, right? If they prepare the perfect wife and one girl already a wife, what's the point to teach her more?
Absolutely. What's the point to get into this college at all? It should have been courses, like why should you learn the languages?
To improve art understanding.
And it was so ridiculous, all those pictures. So that girl was, they made pictures after they got married, pictures with the husband. So she is vacuuming the room with one hand, and she holds a book in the other one and reading at the same time. Oh, it was so ridiculous. It's just wow. So and actually, I've seen a lot of pinup things, just showing these things. So what was expected of a woman, just you are boiling something or frying something, and you are studying something at the same time. So those expectations are I don't know, is it just dream or expectations or something which is absolutely unreal, but shown in the advertisements as I don't know, like just a beautiful picture or whatever. But it is ridiculous for me, just to look at this.
But I like these pin-up pictures, more than Mona Lisa, I think.
Diana, you remind me, a long time ago, I saw a cartoon in a Playboy magazine. And it was a man standing at the mirror with shaving cream shaving. Okay. Yeah. And his wife was naked on her knees, giving him a sexual favor.
Oh my goodness.
And she was holding his shaving cream in one hand and his
Oh.
coffee in the other hand, and he was saying, "You're a good wife, Agnes."
Oh my God.
You made me think of that cartoon.
That's
You're talking about another paintings. I like.
well, actually, Catherine, when she was very furious about something, she was showing this pinup art, in the class, and was asking one of these pinups where girdle. You know what girdle is? So the girdle, and the advertisement says, okay, that's another way to be free. So, and she asked, why do we need girdle to be free? How can girdle, set us free? Wow, that's just ridiculous. Yes.
In the Pirates of the Caribbean, the very first movie,
Yeah. Mhm.
the girl was fighting somebody, and she said, "You want to know about pain? Try wearing a girdle."
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
man.
Okay. Very
And what
nice.
about the moral of the movie? I think is the point of the movie is women can appreciate nowadays what they have, because if you look at the past, they don't remember how things were, and especially imagine female millennials. If they see that, they would puke. This sort of society. What's that? Nowadays they do whatever they want, and I see that in my workplace. That's incredible. They do everything.
I think it is always this way, when you don't let people do something that they want, they'll always be like quite the opposite, when you were just oh my goodness, I cannot
My favorite word which I always forget, pendulum and pendulum.
pendulum. Yes.
Pendulum.
Yeah, exactly. So if it is it's like the spring, when you just hold it too tight, it's gonna, how to say that? My goodness, I keep forgetting words. So amnesia. I don't know. So, but that's fine. Okay.
We have a male chauvinist philosophy that is in our
I
history.
don't doubt about that.
It's women should be kept barefoot,
Yeah,
pregnant, and ignorant.
sure.
That way they'll stay in the home, they'll do their job, they won't complain, and they won't leave you.
The whole movie is against that. They try to
Yes, absolutely.
teach them art, teach them, how to make this conversation, little
And
talks.
that is, and then at the end they should become housewives. So something is wrong in that idea, just
But what is wrong to be a housewife? Yeah, if they like it.
nothing is wrong, but you don't need to spend 4 years of college studying languages, studying all this in order to vacuum your house and throw a party for your boss.
It's not only vacuuming, you are communicating, you are speaking with your husband.
With whom? Husband is working all the time. He's busy with his boss, with
your children at least. You have
oh
to.
my goodness, I have such wonderful conversations about philosophy with my daughter and about modern art and about everything. I use Latin all the time with my kids.
Why not?
It's ridiculous. It's just not how it is. It's not how it works. Housewives do not communicate with children on regular basis, so to say. They have nannies and have teachers and all these things. So what the housewives?
I cannot agree with you. You will lose your authority with children very, very fast if you know nothing. They go to school. They went back to you. They ask you. You have to be on their level at least. So that's why
Well,
my wife is able to help them, and it makes your authority very high.
Sure, but in order to help them, you need to remember your school curriculum, which is not the same as those girls were having. And the college education is very expensive. It's not so. It's not the usual school, I would say.
Teacher, sorry, I missed your tea in the chat, please.
It's okay. The extreme case of this movie is the Japanese geisha. The Japanese geisha girl. A geisha in Japan is a woman who is trained in all of the fine arts. She learns 10 different musical instruments. She learns how to sing, how to perform complicated tea ceremonies, how to do massage, how to entertain and tell jokes and stories. And the whole purpose of this geisha's curriculum is to entertain men.
Let me provide another example.
She's not vacuuming and washing his socks, right? So she's just entertaining and then goes back home, right?
Let me provide another example. Okay, I studied 10 years in the school, then university, then second university, then on my job. Just for what? Just for your money for one lady, And it's okay.
Of course, yes.
And no one saved me, from that. No one say, poor girl, poor boy, he had to work all this the whole life just to make bread for one family. No.
It was your choice, Ivan. That's what I'm saying.
When I did this choice?
I don't know.
No one asked me.
No one asked you. Okay, joke's on you then.
Society pressured you to conform.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
So it's exactly the same like with geisha case, I think.
So you're just entertaining. Okay, good.
Yeah. Just doing what society wants from me,
Nice. Nice.
But it's about the expectations of society, really.
Right. Really. Diana, what is the difference? I don't see the difference.
They change. They change over time.
I mean, what's the difference between my example and geisha example, or house wife example? So society, put me in the stream, and I flow in the stream, and it's happened with many, humans.
Yeah. Okay. But not with all of you. So do you have friends? So all your friends are married. You don't have examples of people who never get married, who never have children, women who cannot have children now and not feel themselves, just crazy or something like that. So I know those examples. Women living alone, supporting themselves, not having families, or women who decide to just to have children without husband and not feel guilty about that. All different choices. That's it. We do have choices now. We're not pressured much. If you are in the flow, you got into that flow. It was your choice. Yeah. So I don't believe that you were just unconscious.
Right. I'm a poor innocent guy, who.
Yeah, very innocent guy who was yes, dragged to the altar.
Yeah, no one makes films about me,
No, we should make a film about you.
Teacher,
I will be a director of that movie. It will be a comedy.
Teacher.
I think the reason that our society's in a mess today is in the old days, there were expectations from society. So everyone had guidance. You kind of knew where you needed to aim for, Today, there's no expectation. You're born, you can choose your gender, you can be transsexual, you can be gay. Nobody cares. It's like you just do whatever you want, and it's okay. So young people today have no star to aim for, no guidepost. They're just thrown into society and left to flounder. And I think that's why we're in a mess today. What do you think?
I have the same feeling. But if you and I will go to psychotherapist, she will say we are just a victims, and it's a Stockholm syndrome. We were broken. That's why we want to broke everyone. Am I right, Diana?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, we a bit out of time, but it was a nice conversation. I never expected that this movie will create this a good conversation. so it's good.
You should believe in us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Next weekend I would not be able to keep the class. You can do it without me if you want. And see you again.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.